This video will cover everything needed to get the DECODE.One ready to use in a SAVI project. Your SAVI Server Pro needs to be on at least version 3.5.1 or later for your project to use the DECODE.One. First, if you haven't already, install the DECODE.Ones behind each display where they'll be used. You can mount the device to the back of the display itself or on the wall with the included mounting hardware. Once installed, you'll need to supply Ethernet, and if using PoE, remember that each DECODE.One draws 12 watts of PoE power, so make sure to consider the total power budget of your switch when planning the cabling for all these devices. There's also a 2-pin 12-volt DC terminal if needed. Next, connect the HDMI from the unit to the display. You'll also need to wire any auxiliary cables you intend to use to control the display or other connected devices. As soon as power is connected, the device will begin the boot process. This image will eventually load, indicating the device is ready to be discovered by the SAVI server. Now from Creator, you can navigate to the Auto Discover tab and start a scan. As soon as the DECODE.Ones are detected by the server, they will begin to communicate and will soon show a 6-digit code on the screen. No app or other software needs to be installed. However, we do need to link the actual devices with the endpoints in our project, and there are 2 ways to do this. The first is to simply add the devices to the project from here as DECODE.One displays. You can rename them and set the location during this step, and adding it this way automatically links it for us as well. You could then immediately navigate to Facility View and assign a canvas layout to it. The other option is to add the device to the project first and then link them through the Canvas Edit page later. To do this, first locate the DECODE.One drivers in the Equipment tab. As you can see, we have the DECODE.One display driver as well as the tuner. The display driver is when you're needing video output only. If you're wanting to use the IR or RS-232 outputs of the unit to control the display through SAVI, you'd select the tuner. Set the name and location, then simply add it, or use the Add Multiple feature if you're adding several. And keep in mind that while setting static IPs for all your DECODE.Ones is possible, it's easier to leave them set to DHCP, since the devices will always update SAVI with their current IP address. Now that these are in the project, I can proceed to the Canvas Edit page and link the physical devices to the ones in the project. This is essentially the same process as linking WebOS displays, touchpad ones, or other glass devices. Simply select the tuner you want to link, and choose the correct code, and then click Link. To control this endpoint from Facility View, you typically need to create a custom driver for the display and then add as many instances of it as you need for the project. Although, if your display does have a driver already in this list, it's recommended to use that one. In the Connections tab, you'd connect the respective control type from the output of the tuner to the input of the display. For more details on this process, see the videos which are linked in the description below. We can now locate the linked display in Facility View and assign a canvas layout to it. Before we end, there are several other features of the DECODE.One worth knowing. First, the second Ethernet port on the front panel allows you to provide IP-based control to your display, or to add any nearby device to your network without having to run additional cabling. There's also a relay port for any nearby device that just needs on or off commands. Lastly, a Phoenix terminal allows you to route de-embedded, unbalanced audio to a soundbar, powered speaker, or anywhere else that the line-level audio signal is needed. Now let's take a closer look at the DECODE.One driver in the Equipment tab. We'll look at the display driver, but both versions here have the same features in the driver options. The main difference is the tuner driver contains the output options in the Connections tab. In addition to the standard canvas and source-related options, we can also toggle closed captioning and choose an audio strategy. In the Advanced tab, if I scroll to the bottom, you'll see a field where I can enter a Pro Idiom key. Now let's take a look at the DECODE.One's Web UI. I can get the IP from the Equipment tab here in Creator, or by going to the Canvas dashboard page. Either way, navigate to the address in your browser and then log in. At the top of the page, I can see the stream status along with some other relevant info. If I click the arrow here, I'll get even more info about the device itself. If you're troubleshooting, both the logs and the image preview tabs can be helpful. Finally, to access the DECODE.One Dealer Guide, the datasheet, and the install guide, see the links in the description below. This concludes our video on the DECODE.One. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe for more SAVI training videos.